Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. Welcome to this edition of Mods Worth Noting. So it's been several weeks. I have been keeping an eye on ModHub, but there's really been very little coming out. So just keeping you informed that way. You know, we definitely have entered a period where we continue to have kind of hit and miss on whether there's anything substantial that comes out that I want to at least mention and pass on to folks. But did see at least one thing this week. So first one here is weekly market. So this is basically sell points that are trucks. And so, you know, the market's open from 10 to 6 p.m. There's a higher cost for the 6 different vehicles that you can go ahead and utilize, and you can see individually like what they sell and so forth. So it's not everything. It's just certain type of things, but while there's a cost for the vehicle and then the maintenance per day is relatively high, the sale prices are higher as well. So they indicate that they're almost twice as high as at normal sales outlets. So might be worth looking at if you're looking for a little bit of a change up in how you sell your products. So next one is pasta production. Same type of thing as normal. You've usually got 90,000 for the production building. Now it does have a grain mill and so forth because there's opportunities for different types of flour. So you can see the production chain option here. You've got 5 different types of pasta that you can produce: dry, fresh, gnocchi, maize pasta, and soybean spaghetti. And then some of the inputs include maize flour and soybean flour, which is then why you need a new grain mill. Another production option for us, which is always a fun thing to see where people are getting creative and filling gaps that haven't been filled yet. So this one's pretty unique. It's called the All-in-One Underground Facility. It combines silo storage with 600,000 liters of capacity for base game crops. Will also hold diesel and water. You get a little bit of diesel and water with your initial purchase. It has a repair shop. It also has some elevators that take equipment to storage facilities. So it's an underground garage for equipment that will house large tractors and things like that, as it talks about. $500,000 to install. You know, it's also got kind of living quarters and so forth because it is a farmhouse. The top surface appears, or at least part of it appears this way. And so careful observers will notice you've got this building here. This is that same facility, I believe, but now you can see this kind of lifted up. And I'm guessing these are the elevators that take the equipment down. Some views inside, including the storage bays and so forth, where you can see they've got a harvester, large tractors, things fit in there, and then looks like the entrance to get in. A little bit of a view down, so you can see it's at least 1, 2, 3 levels, and then another view of just putting crops in to the facility there. So if you're looking for something that you want to try out that's definitely unique and maybe takes up less space for a bunch of things, because instead of building a separate silo complex and a garage and a repair shop, you have this all just stacked under each other underground. And it does talk about placement and how you have to be careful, and you don't want to use certain mods with it and so forth because it can cause a problem, because it does obviously create a hole in the ground for this to go into. Normally, as you know, I don't cover a lot of equipment on this series just because there is a lot of equipment that gets created, and for the most part it's personal preference for folks by, yes, I want that particular piece because I like that manufacturer or whatever it is. I'm raising this one, the New Holland Harvester Pack, because the higher end harvester has pipe angle. So I am definitely going to be trying this out because I have been looking for a harvester with this capability for a long time, just to know that it exists again. There used to be, I think it was a case, may have been a John Deere. It doesn't really matter. That's the point. That it's more the item than the manufacturer. But you were able to say leave the pipe at 45 degrees, and what that allowed you to do was, based on following and so forth, you didn't need like a whole row next to you. You'd be able to have a vehicle kind of tuck in behind you here and come up next to you, and the header width would cut enough of a path that they could go with you along the crop edge and not do any crop destruction and things like that. And I have been waiting in Farming Simulator 22 since it came out, so we're talking about nearly 2.5 years now, and it looks like maybe we finally have one. So, as is the case with a lot of really interesting or exceptionally complicated mods, cultivator settings is PC only. What this adds is the ability for cultivators in the vanilla game. It also says from DLCs, so but I assume there's still like official DLCs and so forth, to have options to change their working depth so that it can be a normal cultivator, a deep cultivator, shallow cultivator, or something called a variable cultivator, which then has a 2,500 euro option for isobus capable things, and then a soil cultivation with deep cultivator replaces the plowing. So it gives you various configurations and so forth on those pieces of implementation. And that will do it for this edition of Mods Worth Noting. If you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, please consider that. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider that. And I will see you next time.